Hey guys, tonight we begin with something truly chilling. A mummy so disturbing that when archaeologists first unwrapped it in 1886, they found a face frozen in an eternal scream of terror and agony. We're diving into the story of the most horrifying mummy discoveries in Egypt, including the mysterious screaming mummy, whose identity remained unknown for over a century, and whose final moments were so traumatic that his expression of pure terror was preserved for eternity. Forget the peaceful, serene mummies Hollywood sold you. The truth is, some of these ancient dead tell stories of violence, betrayal and death so horrible that their final screams echo across thousands of years. So before we cross into the ancient world, take a moment to like this video, but only if you truly enjoy what I do here, and subscribe if you'd like to join me on more journeys through history. Leave a comment telling me where you're tuning in tonight and what time zone is keeping you company. There's something both fascinating and unsettling about how these voices from the grave unite us across time and distance. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. Congratulations, you've just woken up in the year 1886, and you're standing in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, watching as archaeologists carefully unwrap what they believe to be just another royal mummy. But as the final layers of linen fall away, gasps echo through the room. The face that emerges is not the peaceful, dignified expression of eternal rest that they expected. Instead, they're staring at a face contorted in absolute terror, mouth wide open in a silent scream that has lasted for over 3,000 years. This is unknown Mani, later dubbed the Screaming Mummy, and his discovery would launch one of the most enduring mysteries in Egyptology. Who was this man? How did he die? And why was his face frozen in such an expression of pure horror that it would haunt everyone who saw it for generations to come? The mummy was discovered in 1881, as part of the famous Deir el-Bahari cache, a hidden tomb where ancient priests had secretly moved dozens of royal mummies to protect them from grave robbers. Among the greatest pharaohs of Egypt, Ramesses II, Seti Thutmose III lay this unnamed horror, wrapped in sheepskin instead of the traditional linen, bound hand and foot, and bearing no identifying inscriptions or royal regalia. Everything about unknown Mani violated the sacred traditions of Egyptian mummification. The sheepskin wrapping was considered unclean by ancient Egyptian standards, reserved for criminals and outcasts. The lack of proper mummification materials suggested either extreme haste or deliberate desecration. Most disturbing of all, the body showed signs of having been mummified while still alive, or immediately after a death so traumatic that the muscles had locked in their final position of agony. The face tells a story of unimaginable terror. The mouth is stretched wide open, as if the man died in the middle of a scream. The eyes are squeezed shut in an expression of pain and fear. The entire facial structure is contorted in a way that suggests the man experienced something so horrifying in his final moments that his body preserved that terror for eternity. For over a century, the identity of the screaming mummy remained one of archaeology's greatest mysteries. Theories ranged from a disgraced prince to a captured enemy, from a victim of political intrigue to someone who suffered a particularly gruesome execution. The lack of identifying marks or inscriptions meant that researchers had only the evidence of the body itself to work with. The breakthrough came in 2012 when DNA analysis finally revealed the shocking truth. The screaming mummy was Prince Pentuer, son of Pharaoh Ramesses III, who had been executed for his role in the conspiracy to assassinate his own father. The harem conspiracy, as it came to be known, was one of the most dramatic political scandals in ancient Egyptian history, and the screaming mummy was physical evidence of its brutal conclusion. The story of Prince Pentuer begins with one of the most successful pharaohs in Egyptian history. Ramesses III ruled Egypt for over 30 years during the 20th dynasty, successfully defending the kingdom against multiple invasions and maintaining Egypt's power and prosperity. But like many long-reigning monarchs, he faced the challenge of succession, with multiple wives and sons competing for the throne. The conspiracy was orchestrated by Queen Tia, one of Ramesses III's secondary wives, who wanted to place her son Pentuer on the throne instead of the designated heir. The plot involved dozens of conspirators, including high-ranking officials, military officers, and members of the royal harem. They planned to assassinate the pharaoh and install Pentuer as the new ruler. The assassination attempt took place around 1155 BCE, and while the exact details remain unclear, it appears that the conspirators succeeded in killing Ramesses III. However, their victory was short-lived. The legitimate heir, who would become Ramesses IV, quickly seized control and ordered a massive investigation into the conspiracy. The trial records, preserved on papyrus, provide chilling details of what happened next. The conspirators were rounded up and subjected to brutal interrogations. Many were forced to commit suicide, while others were executed in various horrific ways. The punishments were designed not just to eliminate the conspirators, but to serve as a warning to anyone who might consider challenging royal authority in the future. Prince Pentawa's fate was particularly cruel. As a member of the royal family, he couldn't be executed in the same manner as common criminals. Instead, he was forced to commit suicide, probably by hanging or strangulation, but even in death, his punishment continued. His body was denied the proper mummification rites that would ensure his journey to the afterlife, and he was wrapped in the unclean sheepskin that marked him as an outcast for eternity. The condition of Pentawa's mummy suggests that something went terribly wrong during his execution. The expression of terror on his face indicates that he may have experienced a particularly traumatic death, possibly involving torture or a prolonged, agonizing execution. Some experts believe he may have been buried alive, or subjected to some form of ritual punishment that left him conscious and aware as he died. The discovery of the screaming mummy opened a window into the darker side of ancient Egyptian royal life. Behind the magnificent monuments and golden treasures lay a world of political intrigue, family betrayal, and brutal justice that could be every bit as violent and ruthless as any modern dictatorship. But the screaming mummy is not the only disturbing mummy discovery that has shocked archaeologists and revealed the hidden horrors of ancient Egypt. The tombs and burial sites of Egypt have yielded numerous examples of mummies that tell stories of violence, disease, and death that challenge our romanticized view of ancient Egyptian civilization. The mummy of Pharaoh Seqenenre is another example of violence preserved in death. This pharaoh from the 17th dynasty shows clear evidence of having died in battle, with multiple head wounds that suggest he was killed by enemy weapons. His mummy reveals a man who died violently, possibly in hand-to-hand combat, with wounds that would have caused excruciating pain before death finally claimed him. The examination of Seqenenre's mummy reveals the brutal reality of ancient warfare. His skull shows evidence of at least 5 separate wounds, including a massive blow to the forehead that would have been instantly fatal. The pattern of injuries suggests that he was attacked by multiple assailants using different weapons, including axes, spears, and daggers. The wounds show no signs of healing, indicating that he died immediately from his injuries. What makes Seqenenre's case particularly disturbing is the evidence that he may have been captured alive and tortured before being killed. Some of the wounds appear to have been inflicted while he was restrained or unconscious, suggesting that his enemies took their time in killing him. The mummification process was also rushed and poorly done, indicating that his body was recovered from the battlefield and hastily prepared for burial. The mummy of Queen Amosin-Hapi tells another disturbing story of ancient Egyptian death. This queen from the 18th dynasty shows evidence of having died from a massive infection that literally consumed her body from the inside. The mummification process preserved the evidence of her suffering, revealing a woman who endured weeks or months of agony before finally succumbing to her illness. The examination of Amosin-Hapi's mummy reveals the horrifying progression of her disease. The infection appears to have started in her pelvic region, possibly from complications during childbirth, and then spread throughout her body. The mummifiers had to deal with a corpse that was already partially decomposed from the infection, and they did their best to preserve what remained of her body. The evidence suggests that Amosin-Hapi suffered tremendously in her final weeks. The infection would have caused fever, delirium, and excruciating pain as it spread through her body. The fact that she was given a royal burial despite the condition of her corpse suggests that she was highly valued by her family, and that they wanted to ensure her proper journey to the afterlife, despite the circumstances of her death. The mummy of the 2 brothers from Der Reifer tells a story of family betrayal and murder that rivals any modern crime drama. These 2 men, Kunum Nakt and Nektank, were discovered in 1907, and were initially believed to be brothers who died of natural causes. However, modern forensic analysis has revealed a much darker story. The examination of the 2 brothers' mummies shows that both men died violently, with evidence of stab wounds and blunt force trauma. The pattern of injuries suggests that they were attacked by someone they trusted, possibly during a family gathering or business meeting. The fact that they were buried together in an elaborate tomb suggests that their deaths were part of a larger family tragedy. DNA analysis has revealed that while the 2 men shared the same mother, they had different fathers, which may have created tensions over inheritance and family status. The evidence suggests that they were killed by a relative who stood to gain from their deaths, making this one of the earliest documented cases of family murder in human history. The mummy of Pharaoh Ramesses V, tells the story of a king who died from one of history's most feared diseases. The examination of his mummy reveals clear evidence that he died from smallpox, making him one of the earliest confirmed victims of this devastating disease. The preservation of the smallpox lesions on his skin provides a horrifying glimpse into the suffering he endured in his final days. Smallpox was one of the most feared diseases in the ancient world, and Ramesses V's mummy shows why. The lesions cover his face and body, indicating that he suffered from a severe case of the disease. The pattern of the lesions suggests that he endured weeks of fever, pain and disfigurement before finally succumbing to the infection. The fact that a pharaoh could die from smallpox demonstrates that even the most powerful people in ancient Egypt were vulnerable to disease. The mummification process preserved the evidence of his suffering, creating a permanent record of one of history's most devastating illnesses, and its impact on even the mightiest rulers. The mummy of Lady Rai, a nursemaid to Queen Amos Nefertari, tells the story of a woman who lived to an extraordinary age for the ancient world, but paid a terrible price for her longevity. The examination of her mummy reveals a woman who suffered from multiple diseases and conditions that would have made her final years a constant struggle against pain and disability. She also suffered from dental disease that would have made eating difficult and painful. The examination reveals a woman who lived to be over 50 years old, which was remarkable for the ancient world, but who paid for her longevity with years of suffering and pain. The preservation of Lady Rai's mummy provides insights into the medical knowledge and practices of ancient Egypt. The evidence suggests that she received medical care for her conditions, including dental work and possibly pain management. However, the limitations of ancient medicine meant that she had to endure suffering that modern medicine could easily treat. The mummy of Pharaoh Amenhotep III reveals the story of a king who died from complications related to obesity and dental disease. The examination of his mummy shows a man who suffered from multiple health problems related to his lifestyle and diet, providing insights into the health challenges faced by the ancient Egyptian elite. Amenhotep III's mummy shows evidence of severe dental disease that would have caused constant pain and made eating difficult. He also shows signs of having been significantly overweight, which would have contributed to other health problems including joint pain and cardiovascular disease. The combination of these conditions would have made his final years extremely uncomfortable. The examination of Amenhotep III's mummy also reveals evidence of the medical treatments he received. There are signs that ancient Egyptian doctors attempted to treat his dental problems and other conditions, but the limitations of ancient medicine meant that they could only provide limited relief for his suffering. The mummy of Queen Hatshepsut, one of Egypt's most successful female pharaohs, tells the story of a woman who may have been murdered by her successor. The examination of her mummy reveals evidence that she died from complications related to diabetes and cancer, but there are also signs that suggest she may have been poisoned. The discovery of Hatshepsut's mummy was itself a mystery that took decades to solve. Her body was found in a simple tomb in the Valley of the Kings, far from the elaborate burial she deserved as one of Egypt's greatest rulers. The condition of her mummy suggests that she was hastily buried, possibly to hide evidence of foul play. The examination of Hatshepsut's mummy reveals a woman who suffered from multiple health problems in her final years. She shows evidence of diabetes, which would have caused a range of symptoms including fatigue, weight loss, and increased susceptibility to infection. She also shows signs of having suffered from cancer, which would have caused additional pain and suffering. However, some experts believe that Hatshepsut may have been poisoned by her successor, Thutmose III, who had reasons to want her dead. The evidence is circumstantial, but the hasty burial and the condition of her mummy suggest that her death may not have been entirely natural. The mummy of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, the famous boy king, tells a story that is both tragic and mysterious. While his tomb was found intact and filled with treasures, the examination of his mummy reveals a young man who died under suspicious circumstances, possibly as the result of murder or a chariot accident. The examination of Tutankhamun's mummy shows evidence of multiple injuries that could have been fatal. He has a hole in the back of his skull that some experts believe was caused by a blow to the head, possibly from a weapon. He also has a broken leg and other injuries that suggest he may have been involved in a violent incident shortly before his death. The debate over how Tutankhamun died continues to this day. Some experts believe he was murdered by political rivals who wanted to seize power. Others think he died in a chariot accident or during a military campaign. The evidence is inconclusive, but the condition of his mummy suggests that his death was sudden and possibly violent. The mummy of Pharaoh Siptah tells the story of a young king who suffered from a severe disability that would have made his life extremely difficult. The examination of his mummy reveals a man who had a severely deformed foot, possibly from polio or another neurological condition that would have made walking painful and difficult. Siptah's mummy shows the challenges faced by disabled individuals in the ancient world. Despite his disability, he managed to become pharaoh and rule Egypt for several years. However, the examination of his mummy reveals the physical toll that his condition took on his body and the pain he must have endured throughout his short life. The preservation of Siptah's mummy provides insights into ancient Egyptian attitudes toward disability and the medical treatments available to help disabled individuals. The evidence suggests that he received medical care for his condition, but the limitations of ancient medicine meant that he had to live with constant pain and mobility problems. The mummy of Queen Nojmet tells the story of a woman who died from complications related to childbirth, one of the leading causes of death for women in the ancient world. The examination of her mummy reveals evidence of the dangers that women faced during pregnancy and delivery in an era before modern medical care. Nojmet's mummy shows evidence of having died from complications during or shortly after childbirth. The examination reveals signs of infection and other problems that would have been fatal in the ancient world, but are easily treatable today. Her death illustrates the risks that women faced when having children in ancient Egypt. The preservation of Nojmet's mummy provides insights into ancient Egyptian obstetric practices and the medical care available to women during pregnancy and childbirth. While the ancient Egyptians had some knowledge of obstetrics, the limitations of their medical understanding meant that many women died from complications that modern medicine can easily prevent or treat. The mummy of Pharaoh Ramesses II, one of Egypt's greatest rulers, tells the story of a man who lived to an extraordinary age, but paid the price with years of suffering from multiple age-related conditions. The examination of his mummy reveals the health challenges faced by elderly individuals in the ancient world. Ramesses II's mummy shows evidence of severe arthritis that would have made movement extremely painful in his final years. He also suffered from dental disease, cardiovascular problems, and other conditions associated with advanced age. Despite these health problems, he continued to rule Egypt until his death at around 90 years old. The examination of Ramesses II's mummy provides insights into the medical care available to elderly individuals in ancient Egypt. The evidence suggests that he received treatment for his various conditions, including dental work and possibly pain management. However, the limitations of ancient medicine meant that he had to endure significant suffering in his final years. The mummy of Prince Thutmose, son of Amenhotep III, tells the story of a young man who died under mysterious circumstances, possibly as the result of a political conspiracy. The examination of his mummy reveals evidence that suggests he may have been murdered to prevent him from becoming pharaoh. Prince Thutmose was the designated heir to the throne, but he died before his father, allowing his younger brother Akhenaten to become pharaoh instead. The examination of his mummy shows evidence of injuries that could have been caused by violence, leading some experts to believe that he was murdered by supporters of Akhenaten. The evidence for Prince Thutmose's murder is circumstantial, but the political implications of his death were enormous. His death allowed Akhenaten to become pharaoh and implement his religious revolution, which changed the course of Egyptian history. If Prince Thutmose had lived to become pharaoh, the entire history of ancient Egypt might have been different. The mummy of Queen Ankhesenamun, wife of Tutankhamun, tells the story of a woman who disappeared from history under mysterious circumstances. While her mummy has never been definitively identified, the search for her remains has revealed the dangerous political situation that existed during the end of the 18th dynasty. Ankhesenamun was the daughter of Akhenaten and the wife of Tutankhamun, making her one of the most important women in Egyptian history. However, after Tutankhamun's death, she disappeared from the historical record, leading to speculation that she was murdered or forced into exile by political rivals. The search for Ankhesenamun's mummy has been one of the most challenging mysteries in Egyptology. Several mummies have been proposed as possible candidates, but none have been definitively identified as the missing queen. The mystery of her fate continues to intrigue researchers and adds to the dark atmosphere surrounding the end of the 18th dynasty. The examination of these disturbing mummies has revealed the darker side of ancient Egyptian civilization, showing that behind the magnificent monuments and golden treasures lay a world that could be every bit as violent and brutal as any period in human history. The preservation of these bodies has created a permanent record of the suffering, violence, and tragedy that was part of daily life in ancient Egypt. The advanced mummification techniques used by the ancient Egyptians have allowed modern researchers to study these cases in extraordinary detail, revealing information about ancient diseases, medical practices, and the causes of death that would otherwise be lost to history. The mummies serve as a bridge between the ancient and modern worlds, allowing us to understand the human experience of our ancestors in ways that written records alone cannot provide. The study of these disturbing mummies has also revealed the limitations of ancient medicine and the challenges faced by people living in a world without modern medical care. The evidence shows that even the most powerful and wealthy individuals in ancient Egypt were vulnerable to diseases and conditions that modern medicine can easily treat or prevent. The psychological impact of discovering these disturbing mummies has been significant for the archaeologists and researchers who have studied them. The screaming mummy in particular has haunted everyone who has seen it, serving as a powerful reminder of the reality of death and suffering in the ancient world. The preservation of these mummies has also raised important questions about the ethics of studying human remains and the responsibility that modern researchers have to treat ancient bodies with respect and dignity. The debate over how to balance scientific inquiry with respect for the dead continues to be an important issue in archaeology and anthropology. The stories told by these disturbing mummies have captured the public imagination and contributed to our fascination with ancient Egypt and the mysteries of the past. They remind us that history is not just about kings and monuments, but also about real people who lived, suffered, and died in ways that we can still understand and relate to today. The ongoing study of these mummies continues to yield new insights into ancient Egyptian civilization and the human experience in the ancient world. Modern technology allows researchers to examine these bodies in ways that were impossible just a few decades ago, revealing new information about ancient diseases, medical practices, and the circumstances of death. The conservation of these mummies is an ongoing challenge that requires careful balance between scientific study and preservation for future generations. The bodies are fragile and vulnerable to damage from handling, environmental factors, and the passage of time, making it essential to develop sophisticated preservation techniques that protect them while allowing continued research. The educational value of these disturbing mummies extends far beyond their historical significance, providing valuable insights into human anatomy, disease processes, and the development of medical knowledge. They serve as teaching tools that help students understand the challenges faced by people living in different historical periods and the progress that has been made in medical science. The cultural impact of these mummy discoveries has been enormous, influencing everything from popular entertainment to academic research. The screaming mummy in particular has become an icon of archaeological mystery and has inspired countless books, movies, and television shows about ancient Egypt and the supernatural. As we contemplate these disturbing discoveries in the quiet moments before sleep, we can appreciate both the advanced preservation techniques of the ancient Egyptians and the tragic stories that these mummies tell. They remind us that death is a universal human experience that connects us to our ancestors across thousands of years. The mystery of the screaming mummy and the other disturbing mummies of ancient Egypt continues to fascinate and horrify us, serving as powerful reminders of the reality of human suffering and the fragility of life. In their preserved faces, we can see reflections of our own mortality and the universal human experiences of pain, fear, and death. The legacy of these discoveries extends far beyond their immediate historical significance, contributing to our understanding of human nature and the development of civilization. They show us that the ancient Egyptians were real people who faced the same challenges and fears that we face today, and that their experiences can teach us important lessons about life, death, and the human condition. Sleep well tonight, knowing that while these ancient stories are disturbing, they also remind us of how far we have come in terms of medical knowledge, legal justice, and human rights. In your dreams, you might find yourself walking through the halls of the Egyptian Museum, past the cases containing these mysterious mummies, and understanding something of the eternal human struggle against suffering, injustice, and the inevitability of death. The whispered secrets of these preserved bodies continue to echo through time, carrying messages about the reality of human experience and the importance of treating each other with compassion and dignity, knowing that we all share the same ultimate fate, and that our actions in life will determine how we are remembered by future generations. The comprehensive examination of disturbing mummy discoveries in Egypt has revealed a wealth of information about ancient medical practices, disease processes, and the social conditions that existed in the ancient world. These preserved bodies serve as a unique window into the past, allowing modern researchers to study aspects of ancient life that would otherwise be completely unknown. The advanced mummification techniques developed by the ancient Egyptians were remarkably effective at preserving not just the basic structure of the human body, but also detailed evidence of diseases, injuries, and the circumstances of death. The process involved removing internal organs, treating the body with natron salt to remove moisture, and wrapping it in linen bandages, treated with resins and other preservatives. The skill of ancient Egyptian embalmers varied considerably depending on the social status and wealth of the deceased. Royal mummies received the most elaborate treatment, with careful attention to preserving the appearance and dignity of the body. However, even the most skilled embalmers sometimes had to deal with bodies that had been damaged by violence, disease, or decomposition, leading to the disturbing discoveries that continue to shock researchers today. The study of mummy pathology has become a specialized field that combines archaeology, medicine, and forensic science to understand the health and living conditions of ancient populations. Researchers use a variety of techniques including X-rays, CT scans, DNA analysis, and chemical testing to examine mummies without damaging the preserved remains. The evidence from mummy studies has revealed that ancient Egyptians suffered from many of the same diseases that affect people today, including cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and arthritis. However, they also faced health challenges that are less common in the modern world, such as parasitic infections, nutritional deficiencies, and injuries from manual labor and warfare. The preservation of soft tissues in mummies has allowed researchers to study ancient diseases in extraordinary detail. The examination of preserved organs, skin, and other tissues has provided insights into disease processes and medical conditions that would be impossible to study from skeletal remains alone. The discovery of evidence for smallpox in the mummy of Ramesses II was particularly significant because it provided the earliest confirmed case of this devastating disease. The preservation of the characteristic lesions on his skin allowed researchers to study the progression of the disease and understand how it affected ancient populations. The examination of dental remains in mummies has revealed important information about ancient diet, nutrition, and oral health practices. Many mummies show evidence of severe dental disease, including tooth loss, abscesses, and wear patterns that indicate the consumption of coarse, gritty foods that were common in the ancient world. The study of trauma in mummies has provided insights into ancient warfare, violence, and accident patterns. The evidence shows that ancient Egyptians faced significant risks from interpersonal violence, occupational hazards, and the dangers of daily life in a world without modern safety measures and medical care. The preservation of evidence for ancient surgical procedures in some mummies has revealed the sophisticated medical knowledge possessed by ancient Egyptian doctors. Evidence of trepanation, bone setting, and other surgical interventions shows that ancient physicians were capable of performing complex medical procedures with remarkable skill. Chemical analysis of mummy tissues has identified traces of various substances that were used for medicinal purposes, providing insights into ancient pharmacology and therapeutic practices. The study of mummy wrappings and burial goods has provided additional information about ancient medical practices and beliefs about death and the afterlife. The materials used in mummification and the objects placed with the deceased reveal important aspects of ancient Egyptian culture and religious beliefs. The preservation of parasites and other microorganisms in mummy tissues has allowed researchers to study ancient disease ecology and understand how infectious diseases spread in ancient populations. This research has provided valuable insights into the evolution of human pathogens and the development of immunity. The examination of mummies from different time periods and social classes has revealed important information about health disparities in ancient Egypt. The evidence shows that wealthy individuals generally had better health and longer lifespans than the poor, reflecting differences in diet, living conditions, and access to medical care. The study of female mummies has provided particular insights into the health challenges faced by women in the ancient world. Evidence of complications from childbirth, nutritional deficiencies related to pregnancy and lactation, and other gender-specific health issues has revealed the particular risks faced by women in ancient societies. The examination of child mummies has provided heartbreaking evidence of the high infant and child mortality rates that existed in the ancient world. The preservation of evidence for childhood diseases, malnutrition, and developmental disorders has revealed the challenges faced by families trying to raise children in a world without modern medical care. The discovery of evidence for mental illness and neurological disorders in some mummies has provided insights into ancient understanding of these conditions and the treatments that were available. While the evidence is limited, it suggests that ancient Egyptians had some understanding of mental health issues and attempted to provide care for affected individuals. The preservation of evidence for occupational diseases and injuries in mummies has revealed the health hazards associated with different types of work in the ancient world. Evidence of repetitive stress injuries, exposure to toxic substances, and accidents related to specific occupations has provided insights into ancient working conditions and labor practices. The study of mummy DNA has revolutionized our understanding of ancient Egyptian population genetics and family relationships. The ability to determine genetic relationships between mummies has solved many historical mysteries and provided new insights into royal succession and family dynamics. The examination of isotope ratios in mummy tissues has provided information about ancient diet and migration patterns. This research has revealed details about what people ate, where they lived, and how they moved around the ancient world that would be impossible to determine from other types of evidence. The preservation of ancient textiles and other organic materials with mummies has provided valuable information about ancient technology, trade, and cultural practices. The examination of clothing, jewelry, and other burial goods has revealed details about ancient craftsmanship and artistic traditions. The study of mummy preservation techniques has provided insights into ancient chemistry and materials science. The analysis of embalming materials and preservation methods has revealed the sophisticated understanding of chemistry possessed by ancient Egyptian embalmers. The examination of mummies has also provided evidence for ancient surgical procedures and medical interventions. Evidence of amputations, bone repairs, and other surgical treatments has revealed the advanced medical knowledge possessed by ancient Egyptian physicians. The discovery of evidence for ancient dental work in some mummies has shown that ancient Egyptians had sophisticated dental practices. Evidence of tooth repair, replacement, and other dental interventions has revealed the advanced understanding of oral health possessed by ancient practitioners. The study of mummy pathology has contributed to modern medical knowledge by providing insights into disease processes and the long-term effects of various conditions. The examination of ancient diseases has helped researchers understand how these conditions develop and progress over time. The preservation of ancient parasites and pathogens in mummy tissues has provided valuable information for modern epidemiological research. The study of ancient disease patterns has helped researchers understand how infectious diseases spread and evolve over time. The examination of mummies has also provided evidence for ancient pharmaceutical practices and the use of medicinal substances. Chemical analysis of mummy tissues has identified traces of various drugs and treatments that were used in ancient medical practice. The study of mummy preservation has contributed to modern conservation science by providing insights into long-term preservation techniques. The methods developed by ancient Egyptian embalmers continue to inform modern approaches to preserving organic materials. The examination of disturbing mummies has also raised important ethical questions about the study of human remains and the responsibility of researchers to treat ancient bodies with respect and dignity. The debate over how to balance scientific inquiry with respect for the dead continues to be an important issue in archaeology and anthropology. The screaming mummy in particular has become an icon of archaeological horror and has influenced popular culture representations of ancient Egypt and mummification. The conservation of disturbing mummies presents unique challenges because of their fragile condition and the need to preserve evidence of trauma and disease. Specialized techniques have been developed to stabilize these remains while maintaining their scientific value for future research. The display of disturbing mummies in museums raises important questions about public education and the appropriate presentation of human remains. Museums must balance the educational value of these displays with sensitivity to cultural and religious concerns about the treatment of the dead. The ongoing research on disturbing mummies continues to yield new insights into ancient life and death. Modern technology allows researchers to examine these remains in ways that were impossible just a few decades ago, revealing new information about ancient diseases, medical practices, and social conditions. The study of disturbing mummies has contributed to the development of forensic science and medical anthropology. The techniques developed for examining ancient remains have been applied to modern forensic investigations and have helped solve contemporary crimes and mysteries. The examination of mummies has also provided evidence for ancient environmental conditions and climate change. The preservation of pollen, seeds, and other environmental indicators in mummy wrappings has revealed information about ancient ecosystems and environmental changes. The study of mummy textiles has provided insights into ancient textile production and trade networks. The examination of fabrics, dyes, and weaving techniques has revealed details about ancient technology and cultural exchange. The preservation of ancient DNA in mummies has opened new avenues for research into human evolution and population genetics. the ability to extract and analyze ancient genetic material has provided insights into human migration patterns and evolutionary history. The examination of mummies has also contributed to our understanding of ancient nutrition and food production. Evidence of dietary patterns, nutritional deficiencies, and food processing techniques has revealed important aspects of ancient economic and social systems. The study of disturbing mummies has highlighted the importance of interdisciplinary collaboration in archaeological research. The examination of these remains requires expertise from multiple fields including archaeology, medicine, chemistry, and anthropology. The ongoing conservation of disturbing mummies requires significant resources and expertise to ensure their preservation for future generations. The development of new preservation techniques and storage methods is essential for maintaining these invaluable scientific resources. The educational value of disturbing mummy discoveries extends far beyond their immediate scientific significance. These remains serve as powerful teaching tools that help students understand the realities of life and death in the ancient world, and the development of medical knowledge over time. The cultural impact of disturbing mummy discoveries has been enormous, influencing everything from academic research to popular entertainment. These discoveries have shaped public perceptions of ancient Egypt and have contributed to ongoing fascination with mummification and ancient burial practices. The study of disturbing mummies has also contributed to our understanding of ancient social structures and power relationships. Evidence of violence, medical care, and burial practices has revealed important aspects of ancient political and social systems. The examination of these remains has provided insights into ancient concepts of death and the afterlife. The treatment of bodies and the materials used in mummification reveal important aspects of ancient religious beliefs and cultural practices. The preservation of evidence for ancient medical knowledge in mummies has contributed to the history of medicine and our understanding of how medical practices developed over time. The examination of ancient treatments and surgical procedures has revealed the sophisticated medical knowledge possessed by ancient practitioners. The study of disturbing mummies continues to raise new questions and challenges for researchers. Each new discovery adds to our understanding of ancient life while also revealing the limitations of our knowledge and the need for continued research and investigation. The ongoing examination of these remains using new technologies and techniques continues to yield surprising discoveries and insights. The application of advanced imaging, chemical analysis, and genetic testing has revealed information that was previously impossible to obtain. The international collaboration required for mummy research has contributed to the development of global networks of scholars and institutions working together to understand ancient civilizations. The sharing of expertise and resources has enhanced the quality and scope of research in this field. The preservation and study of disturbing mummies represents one of the most important contributions of ancient Egypt to modern science and scholarship. These remains provide a unique window into the past that continues to inform our understanding of human history and development. As we contemplate these remarkable and disturbing discoveries in the quiet moments before sleep, we can appreciate both the advanced preservation techniques of the ancient Egyptians and the tragic stories that these mummies tell. They remind us of the universal human experiences of suffering, death, and the desire to be remembered after we are gone. The mystery and horror of the screaming mummy and other disturbing discoveries continue to fascinate and educate us, serving as powerful reminders of the reality of human mortality and the importance of treating each other with compassion and dignity during our brief time on Earth. The legacy of these discoveries extends far beyond their immediate scientific value, contributing to our understanding of human nature and the development of civilization. They show us that the ancient Egyptians were real people who faced the same challenges and fears that we face today, and that their experiences can teach us important lessons about life, death, and the human condition. The ongoing study of these remains continues to reveal new insights into ancient life and to challenge our assumptions about the past. Each new discovery adds to the complex picture of ancient Egyptian civilization and helps us understand the full range of human experience in the ancient world. Sleep well tonight, knowing that while these ancient stories are disturbing, they also remind us of how far we have come in terms of medical knowledge, legal justice, and human rights. In your dreams you might find yourself walking through the halls of the Egyptian Museum, past the cases containing these mysterious mummies, and understanding something of the eternal human struggle against suffering, injustice, and the inevitability of death that connects us all across the centuries. The whispered secrets of these preserved bodies continue to echo through time, carrying eternal messages about the reality of human experience and the importance of treating each other with compassion and dignity, knowing that we all share the same ultimate fate and that our actions in life will determine how we are remembered by future generations. who will study our remains and wonder about the stories our bodies will tell. The comprehensive investigation of disturbing mummy discoveries has revealed the sophisticated understanding of human anatomy possessed by ancient Egyptian embalmers and physicians. Their knowledge of the human body was remarkably advanced for their time, allowing them to develop preservation techniques that have kept human remains intact for thousands of years while maintaining detailed evidence of ancient diseases and injuries. The examination of mummy brain tissue has provided particularly valuable insights into ancient neurological conditions and the methods used by embalmers to preserve or remove brain matter. The traditional method of brain removal through the nasal cavity was a delicate procedure that required considerable skill and anatomical knowledge, and variations in this process have provided clues about different mummification traditions and time periods. The preservation of ancient blood vessels and circulatory system components in some mummies has allowed researchers to study cardiovascular disease in ancient populations. Evidence of atherosclerosis, heart disease, and other circulatory problems has revealed that these conditions were common in ancient Egypt, particularly among the wealthy elite who had access to rich diets and sedentary lifestyles. The examination of preserved muscle tissue in mummies has provided insights into ancient physical activity patterns, occupational hazards, and the effects of manual labor on the human body. Evidence of muscle development, repetitive stress injuries, and occupational diseases has revealed important aspects of ancient working conditions and lifestyle patterns. The study of preserved skin in mummies has revealed evidence of ancient dermatological conditions, cosmetic practices, and environmental exposures. The examination of skin lesions, tattoos, and other markings has provided insights into ancient medical practices, cultural traditions, and social customs related to body modification and personal appearance. The preservation of ancient hair in mummies has provided valuable information about ancient grooming practices, nutritional status, and environmental conditions. Chemical analysis of hair samples has revealed details about ancient diet, health status, and exposure to various substances that would be impossible to determine from other types of evidence. The examination of preserved fingernails and toenails in mummies has provided insights into ancient hygiene practices, occupational activities, and health conditions. Evidence of nail diseases, injuries, and growth patterns has revealed important aspects of ancient daily life and health status. The study of preserved reproductive organs in mummies has provided insights into ancient fertility, childbirth practices, and reproductive health. Evidence of pregnancy, childbirth complications, and reproductive diseases has revealed the challenges faced by women in the ancient world and the medical knowledge available to help them. The examination of preserved digestive system components in mummies has provided valuable information about ancient diet, nutrition, and gastrointestinal health. Evidence of parasitic infections, dietary patterns, and digestive diseases has revealed important aspects of ancient food production, preparation, and consumption practices. The preservation of ancient respiratory system components in some mummies has allowed researchers to study lung diseases and environmental exposures in ancient populations. Evidence of pneumonia, tuberculosis, and other respiratory conditions has provided insights into ancient living conditions and disease transmission patterns. The study of preserved skeletal remains in mummies has provided comprehensive information about ancient bone diseases, injuries, and developmental conditions. Evidence of arthritis, fractures, and other skeletal problems has revealed the physical challenges faced by people living in the ancient world and the medical treatments available to help them. The examination of preserved teeth in mummies has provided detailed information about ancient dental health, diet, and oral hygiene practices. Evidence of tooth decay, gum disease, and dental wear patterns has revealed important aspects of ancient nutrition and food processing techniques. The preservation of ancient endocrine system components in some mummies has allowed researchers to study hormonal disorders and metabolic conditions in ancient populations. Evidence of diabetes, thyroid disorders, and other endocrine problems has provided insights into ancient health patterns and medical understanding. The study of preserved immune system components in mummies has provided insights into ancient disease resistance and susceptibility patterns. Evidence of immune responses to various pathogens has revealed important aspects of ancient disease ecology and population health. The examination of preserved sensory organs in mummies has provided information about ancient vision, hearing, and other sensory capabilities. Evidence of eye diseases, hearing loss, and other sensory impairments has revealed the challenges faced by disabled individuals in the ancient world. The preservation of evidence for ancient pharmaceutical substances in mummy tissues has provided insights into ancient medical treatments and drug use. Chemical analysis has identified traces of various medicinal plants, minerals, and other substances that were used for therapeutic purposes in ancient Egypt. The study of preserved evidence for ancient surgical procedures in mummies has revealed the sophisticated surgical knowledge possessed by ancient Egyptian physicians. Evidence of amputations, trepanations, and other surgical interventions has shown that ancient doctors were capable of performing complex medical procedures with remarkable skill and success. The examination of preserved evidence for ancient wound care and healing in mummies has provided insights into ancient medical practices and the effectiveness of ancient treatments. Evidence of healed fractures, surgical scars, and other signs of medical intervention has revealed the advanced medical knowledge possessed by ancient practitioners. The preservation of ancient prosthetic devices and medical appliances in some mummies has shown that ancient Egyptians developed sophisticated assistive technologies for disabled individuals. Evidence of artificial limbs, dental appliances, and other medical devices has revealed the advanced understanding of human anatomy and engineering possessed by ancient craftsmen. The study of preserved evidence for ancient pain management and anesthesia in mummies has provided insights into ancient approaches to medical comfort and patient care. Evidence of various substances and techniques used to manage pain has revealed the compassionate approach taken by ancient physicians toward their patients. The examination of preserved evidence for ancient rehabilitation and physical therapy in mummies has shown that ancient Egyptians understood the importance of recovery and restoration after injury or illness. Evidence of exercises, treatments, and other therapeutic interventions has revealed the comprehensive approach taken by ancient medical practitioners. The preservation of evidence for ancient mental health treatments in some mummies has provided insights into ancient understanding of psychological and psychiatric conditions. While the evidence is limited, it suggests that ancient Egyptians had some awareness of mental health issues and attempted to provide appropriate care and treatment. The study of preserved evidence for ancient veterinary medicine in animal mummies has provided insights into ancient understanding of animal health and the relationship between human and animal medicine. The sophisticated mummification of animals reveals the advanced veterinary knowledge possessed by ancient practitioners. The examination of preserved evidence for ancient public health measures in mummies has revealed the understanding of disease prevention and community health possessed by ancient Egyptians. Evidence of quarantine practices, sanitation measures, and other public health interventions has shown the sophisticated approach taken to protecting population health. The preservation of evidence for ancient medical education and training in mummies has provided insights into how medical knowledge was transmitted and developed in ancient Egypt. Evidence of surgical techniques, treatment methods, and diagnostic practices has revealed the systematic approach taken to medical education and professional development. The study of preserved evidence for ancient medical specialization in mummies has shown that ancient Egyptian medicine was highly developed and specialized. Evidence of different treatment approaches and surgical techniques has revealed that ancient physicians developed expertise in specific areas of medical practice. The examination of preserved evidence for ancient medical ethics and professional standards in mummies has provided insights into the moral and ethical framework that guided ancient medical practice. Evidence of careful treatment, respectful handling of remains, and attention to patient dignity has revealed the high standards maintained by ancient practitioners. The preservation of evidence for ancient medical research and experimentation in some mummies has shown that ancient Egyptians engaged in systematic investigation of medical questions and treatment methods. Evidence of experimental procedures and innovative treatments has revealed the scientific approach taken by ancient physicians. The study of preserved evidence for ancient medical documentation and record-keeping in mummies has provided insights into how medical knowledge was recorded and preserved in ancient Egypt. Evidence of treatment records, diagnostic notes, and other medical documentation has revealed the systematic approach taken to medical practice and knowledge management. The examination of preserved evidence for ancient medical collaboration and consultation in mummies has shown that ancient Egyptian physicians worked together to provide the best possible care for their patients. Evidence of multiple treatment approaches and collaborative procedures has revealed the cooperative nature of ancient medical practice. The preservation of evidence for ancient medical innovation and technological development in mummies has provided insights into the creative and inventive nature of ancient Egyptian medicine. Evidence of new techniques, improved procedures, and innovative treatments has revealed the progressive approach taken by ancient practitioners. The study of preserved evidence for ancient medical quality control and outcome assessment in mummies has shown that ancient Egyptians monitored the effectiveness of their treatments and continuously worked to improve their medical practices. Evidence of treatment modifications and improved techniques has revealed the commitment to excellence maintained by ancient physicians. The examination of preserved evidence for ancient medical accessibility and healthcare delivery in mummies has provided insights into how medical care was provided to different segments of ancient Egyptian society. Evidence of treatment patterns and care quality has revealed important aspects of ancient social organization and healthcare systems. The preservation of evidence for ancient medical knowledge transmission and cultural exchange in mummies has shown that ancient Egyptian medicine was influenced by and contributed to medical traditions throughout the ancient world. Evidence of foreign techniques and international medical practices has revealed the cosmopolitan nature of ancient medical knowledge. The study of preserved evidence for ancient medical adaptation and environmental medicine in mummies has provided insights into how ancient physicians adapted their practices to local conditions and environmental challenges. Evidence of climate-specific treatments and environmental health measures has revealed the sophisticated understanding of environmental medicine possessed by ancient practitioners. The examination of preserved evidence for ancient medical emergency care and trauma treatment in mummies has shown that ancient Egyptian physicians were skilled at providing immediate care for injuries and acute medical conditions. Evidence of emergency procedures and trauma management has revealed the advanced emergency medical knowledge possessed by ancient practitioners. The preservation of evidence for ancient medical prevention and wellness practices in mummies has provided insights into ancient approaches to maintaining health and preventing disease. Evidence of preventive treatments, wellness practices and health maintenance has revealed the comprehensive approach taken by ancient physicians to patient care. The study of preserved evidence for ancient medical palliative care and end-of-life treatment in mummies has shown that ancient Egyptians provided compassionate care for dying patients and their families. Evidence of comfort measures and supportive care has revealed the humane approach taken by ancient practitioners toward terminal illness and death. The examination of preserved evidence for ancient medical family practice and community medicine in mummies has provided insights into how medical care was integrated into ancient Egyptian family and community life. Evidence of family-based care and community health practices has revealed the social context of ancient medical practice. The preservation of evidence for ancient medical gender-specific care and women's health in mummies has shown that ancient Egyptian physicians understood the unique health needs of women and provided specialized care for female patients. Evidence of obstetric care, gynecological treatments, and women's health practices has revealed the advanced understanding of women's medicine possessed by ancient practitioners. The study of preserved evidence for ancient medical pediatric care and child health in mummies has provided insights into ancient approaches to caring for children and addressing their unique health needs. Evidence of pediatric treatments, child-specific procedures, and developmental care has revealed the specialized knowledge possessed by ancient physicians in caring for young patients. The examination of preserved evidence for ancient medical geriatric care and elderly health in mummies has shown that ancient Egyptians provided specialized care for elderly patients and understood the unique health challenges associated with aging. Evidence of age-specific treatments and elderly care practices has revealed the comprehensive approach taken by ancient practitioners to caring for older patients. The preservation of evidence for ancient medical disability care and rehabilitation in mummies has provided insights into ancient approaches to caring for disabled individuals and helping them achieve maximum function and independence. Evidence of adaptive treatments and assistive technologies has revealed the compassionate and innovative approach taken by ancient practitioners toward disability care. As we contemplate these remarkable discoveries and the wealth of information they have provided about ancient medical knowledge and practice, we can appreciate both the advanced understanding possessed by ancient Egyptian physicians and the challenges they faced in providing care without modern medical technology and knowledge. The disturbing mummies of ancient Egypt continue to teach us important lessons about human resilience, medical innovation, and the universal desire to heal and help others. Their preserved remains serve as a bridge between the ancient and modern worlds, connecting us to our ancestors and reminding us of our shared humanity. The ongoing study of these remarkable remains continues to yield new insights and discoveries that enhance our understanding of ancient civilization and contribute to modern medical knowledge. Each new examination reveals additional details about ancient life and death that help us appreciate the complexity and sophistication of ancient Egyptian society. The legacy of these disturbing discoveries extends far beyond their immediate scientific value, contributing to our understanding of human nature and the development of medical knowledge over time. They remind us that the desire to heal and help others is a fundamental aspect of human nature that has driven medical progress throughout history. Sleep well tonight, knowing that the ancient physicians who cared for these patients shared the same commitment to healing and helping others that drives modern medical practice. In your dreams, you might find yourself walking through the halls of an ancient Egyptian medical school, learning from the masters who developed the knowledge and techniques that laid the foundation for modern medicine. The whispered secrets of these preserved bodies continue to echo through time, carrying eternal messages about the importance of compassion, dedication, and the never-ending quest to understand and heal the human condition that connects all medical practitioners across the centuries and continues to inspire new generations of healers and researchers. The profound impact of disturbing mummy discoveries on modern forensic science cannot be overstated. The techniques developed for examining ancient remains have been directly applied to contemporary criminal investigations, helping solve modern murders and mysteries using methods first pioneered in the study of ancient Egyptian mummies. The preservation of ancient fingerprints and other identifying features in some mummies has provided valuable insights into ancient identification methods and the development of forensic identification techniques. The study of these preserved features has contributed to modern understanding of human identification and the development of more accurate forensic methods. The examination of ancient trauma patterns in mummies has helped forensic scientists better understand wound patterns, weapon marks, and the effects of different types of violence on the human body. This knowledge has been directly applied to modern criminal investigations and has helped solve cases that might otherwise have remained unsolved. The study of ancient decomposition patterns and preservation conditions in mummies has provided valuable information for modern forensic investigations involving decomposed remains. The understanding of how bodies decompose under different conditions has helped forensic scientists better interpret evidence from crime scenes and determine time of death and other crucial factors. The examination of ancient DNA preservation in mummies has contributed to the development of modern forensic DNA analysis techniques. The methods developed for extracting and analyzing ancient genetic material have been adapted for use in contemporary criminal investigations and have helped solve cold cases and identify unknown victims. The study of ancient toxicology in mummies has provided insights into the effects of various poisons and toxic substances on the human body. This knowledge has been applied to modern forensic toxicology and has helped investigators identify causes of death and determine whether poisoning was involved in suspicious deaths. The examination of ancient pathology in mummies has contributed to modern understanding of disease processes and the long-term effects of various medical conditions. This knowledge has been valuable for forensic pathologists investigating deaths involving disease and has helped distinguish between natural and unnatural causes of death. The preservation of ancient clothing and personal effects with mummies has provided insights into ancient textile production, trade networks, and cultural practices that have been applied to modern forensic investigations involving fabric evidence and personal belongings. The study of ancient burial practices and mortuary traditions revealed through mummy examination has provided valuable context for modern forensic investigations involving unusual burial circumstances or ritualistic elements. Understanding ancient practices has helped investigators distinguish between cultural traditions and criminal activity. The examination of ancient environmental evidence preserved with mummies has contributed to modern understanding of how environmental factors affect human remains and evidence preservation. This knowledge has been applied to forensic investigations involving outdoor crime scenes and environmental exposure. The study of ancient medical treatments and surgical procedures evident in mummies has provided insights into the history of medical practice and has helped forensic investigators better understand evidence of medical intervention in contemporary cases. The preservation of ancient parasites and pathogens in mummy tissues has contributed to modern understanding of disease transmission and has provided valuable information for forensic investigations involving infectious diseases and biological evidence. The examination of ancient dietary evidence in mummies has provided insights into nutritional analysis and has contributed to modern forensic techniques for determining diet and lifestyle factors in contemporary investigations. The study of ancient age determination methods used in mummy examination has contributed to modern forensic age estimation techniques and has helped improve the accuracy of age determination in contemporary cases involving unknown individuals. The examination of ancient sex determination methods in mummies has contributed to modern forensic techniques for determining biological sex and has helped improve the accuracy of identification in contemporary investigations. The preservation of ancient occupational evidence in mummies has provided insights into the effects of different types of work on the human body and has contributed to modern understanding of occupational injuries and diseases in forensic contexts. The study of ancient trauma healing patterns in mummies has provided valuable information about the timeline of injury and recovery that has been applied to modern forensic investigations involving healed injuries and long-term abuse patterns. The examination of ancient evidence for interpersonal violence in mummies has contributed to modern understanding of domestic violence patterns and has helped forensic investigators better recognize and interpret evidence of abuse and assault. The preservation of ancient evidence for child abuse and neglect in some mummies has provided insights into historical patterns of child maltreatment and has contributed to modern understanding of child abuse investigation and prevention. The study of ancient evidence for elder abuse in mummies has provided insights into historical patterns of elder maltreatment and has contributed to modern understanding of elder abuse investigation and prevention. The examination of ancient evidence for mass violence and warfare in mummies has provided insights into historical conflict patterns and has contributed to modern understanding of mass casualty investigations and war crimes documentation. The preservation of ancient evidence for ritual violence and human sacrifice in some mummies has provided insights into historical religious and cultural practices and has helped modern investigators distinguish between ritualistic and criminal violence. The study of ancient evidence for accidental death and injury in mummies has provided insights into historical accident patterns and has contributed to modern understanding of accident reconstruction and safety investigation. The examination of ancient evidence for suicide and self-harm in mummies has provided insights into historical patterns of self-destructive behavior and has contributed to modern understanding of suicide investigation and prevention. The preservation of ancient evidence for natural death and disease in mummies has provided valuable baseline information for distinguishing between natural and unnatural death in modern forensic investigations. The study of ancient preservation techniques and their effects on human remains has contributed to modern understanding of how different environmental conditions and treatment methods affect evidence preservation and interpretation. The examination of ancient contamination and degradation patterns in mummies has provided insights into how evidence can be compromised over time and has helped modern investigators better understand and account for degradation factors in contemporary cases. The preservation of ancient evidence for post-mortem changes and alterations in mummies has provided valuable information about how bodies change after death and has contributed to modern understanding of post-mortem interval determination and body modification detection. The study of ancient evidence for body disposal and concealment methods in mummies has provided insights into historical practices and has contributed to modern understanding of body disposal investigation and recovery techniques. The examination of ancient evidence for identity concealment and alteration in mummies has provided insights into historical practices and has contributed to modern understanding of identity fraud investigation and detection. The preservation of ancient evidence for family relationships and kinship in mummies has contributed to modern understanding of genetic relationship determination and has helped improve forensic techniques for identifying family connections. The study of ancient evidence for social status and wealth in mummies has provided insights into historical social structures and has contributed to modern understanding of victim identification and social context analysis in forensic investigations. The examination of ancient evidence for geographic origin and migration in mummies has contributed to modern understanding of population movement and has helped improve forensic techniques for determining geographic origin and travel patterns. The preservation of ancient evidence for cultural affiliation and ethnicity in mummies has provided insights into historical population diversity and has contributed to modern understanding of ancestry determination and cultural context analysis. The study of ancient evidence for religious and spiritual practices in mummies has provided insights into historical belief systems and has contributed to modern understanding of ritualistic elements in contemporary investigations. The examination of ancient evidence for medical treatment and healthcare in mummies has provided insights into historical medical practices and has contributed to modern understanding of medical evidence interpretation and forensic contexts. The preservation of ancient evidence for lifestyle and behavior patterns in mummies has provided valuable baseline information for understanding human behavior and has contributed to modern behavioral analysis techniques in forensic investigations. The study of ancient evidence for psychological and mental health conditions in mummies has provided insights into historical patterns of mental illness and has contributed to modern understanding of psychological autopsy and mental health assessment in forensic contexts. The examination of ancient evidence for substance use and addiction in mummies has provided insights into historical patterns of drug and alcohol use and has contributed to modern understanding of substance abuse investigation and toxicology analysis. The preservation of ancient evidence for reproductive health and fertility in mummies has provided insights into historical reproductive practices and has contributed to modern understanding of reproductive evidence analysis in forensic investigations. The study of ancient evidence for growth and development patterns in mummies has provided valuable baseline information for understanding human development and has contributed to modern age estimation and developmental analysis techniques. The examination of ancient evidence for genetic disorders and inherited conditions in mummies has provided insights into historical patterns of genetic disease and has contributed to modern understanding of genetic evidence analysis in forensic investigations. The preservation of ancient evidence for environmental exposure and occupational hazards in mummies has provided insights into historical environmental conditions and has contributed to modern understanding of environmental forensics and exposure assessment. The study of ancient evidence for seasonal and temporal patterns in mummies has provided insights into historical timing and scheduling and has contributed to modern understanding of temporal analysis and forensic investigations. The examination of ancient evidence for technological and cultural change in mummies has provided insights into historical innovation and adaptation and has contributed to modern understanding of technological evidence analysis in forensic contexts. The preservation of ancient evidence for communication and information systems in mummies has provided insights into historical communication methods and has contributed to modern understanding of communication evidence analysis in forensic investigations. The study of ancient evidence for transportation and mobility in mummies has provided insights into historical travel patterns and has contributed to modern understanding of transportation evidence analysis in forensic contexts. The examination of ancient evidence for trade and economic activity in mummies has provided insights into historical economic systems and has contributed to modern understanding of economic evidence analysis in forensic investigations. The preservation of ancient evidence for political and social organization in mummies has provided insights into historical governance systems and has contributed to modern understanding of political evidence analysis in forensic contexts. The study of ancient evidence for conflict and cooperation in mummies has provided insights into historical social dynamics and has contributed to modern understanding of social evidence analysis in forensic investigations. The examination of ancient evidence for innovation and creativity in mummies has provided insights into historical problem-solving and adaptation and has contributed to modern understanding of behavioral evidence analysis in forensic contexts. The preservation of ancient evidence for learning and knowledge transmission in mummies has provided insights into historical education systems and has contributed to modern understanding of intellectual evidence analysis in forensic investigations. The study of ancient evidence for artistic and cultural expression in mummies has provided insights into historical creative practices and has contributed to modern understanding of cultural evidence analysis in forensic contexts. The examination of ancient evidence for spiritual and philosophical beliefs in mummies has provided insights into historical worldviews and has contributed to modern understanding of ideological evidence analysis in forensic investigations. As we contemplate these remarkable connections between ancient discoveries and modern forensic science, we can appreciate how the study of disturbing mummies has contributed to our ability to solve contemporary crimes and understand modern human behavior. The legacy of these ancient investigations continues to influence modern forensic practice and has helped develop techniques and methods that are used every day to solve crimes and bring justice to victims and their families. The ongoing study of ancient remains continues to yield new insights that are applied to modern forensic challenges, demonstrating the enduring value of archaeological research and the importance of preserving and studying ancient human remains. The connection between ancient and modern forensic science reminds us that the fundamental questions about human behavior, death and justice are timeless, and that the pursuit of truth and understanding connects investigators across the centuries. Sleep well tonight, knowing that the ancient mysteries preserved in these disturbing mummies continue to help solve modern crimes and bring justice to contemporary victims, creating an unbroken chain of investigation and discovery that spans thousands of years. The whispered secrets of these preserved bodies continue to echo through time, carrying eternal messages about the importance of seeking truth, pursuing justice, and never giving up in the quest to understand the human condition and protect the innocent from those who would do them harm. The continuing evolution of mummy research has been revolutionized by advances in medical imaging technology that allow researchers to examine ancient remains without causing damage to the preserved bodies. CT scans, MRI imaging, and other non-invasive techniques have revealed internal structures and hidden details that were previously impossible to study without unwrapping or dissecting the mummies. The development of virtual autopsy techniques has allowed researchers to perform detailed examinations of mummy internal anatomy while preserving the integrity of the wrappings and external appearance. These virtual examinations have revealed new information about ancient diseases, injuries, and mummification techniques that has enhanced our understanding of ancient Egyptian civilization. The application of advanced chemical analysis techniques to mummy research has revealed detailed information about ancient embalming materials, dietary patterns, and environmental exposures. Mass spectrometry, chromatography, and other analytical methods have identified specific compounds and substances that provide insights into ancient life and death. The use of isotope analysis in mummy research has provided valuable information about ancient diet, migration patterns, and environmental conditions. The examination of carbon, nitrogen, and other isotope ratios in mummy tissues has revealed details about ancient lifestyle and geographic origin that would be impossible to determine from other types of evidence. The development of ancient DNA extraction and analysis techniques has revolutionized mummy research by allowing researchers to study genetic relationships, population genetics, and evolutionary history. The ability to extract and analyze ancient genetic material has solved many historical mysteries and provided new insights into ancient Egyptian society. The application of proteomics and other molecular biology techniques to mummy research has revealed information about ancient proteins, enzymes, and other biological molecules that provide insights into ancient physiology and disease processes. These molecular studies have enhanced our understanding of ancient health and medical conditions. The use of advanced microscopy techniques in mummy research has revealed cellular and tissue details that provide insights into ancient disease processes and preservation mechanisms. Electron microscopy and other high-resolution imaging methods have shown cellular structures and pathological changes that were previously invisible. The development of computational modeling and simulation techniques has allowed researchers to reconstruct ancient faces, predict ancient appearance, and model disease progression in ancient populations. These computer-based methods have brought ancient people to life and made their stories more accessible to modern audiences. The application of artificial intelligence and machine learning to mummy research has enhanced pattern recognition, diagnostic accuracy, and data analysis capabilities. AI systems can identify subtle patterns and relationships in mummy data that might be missed by human researchers, leading to new discoveries and insights. The integration of multiple analytical techniques in comprehensive mummy studies has provided holistic understanding of ancient individuals and populations. The combination of imaging, chemical analysis, genetic testing, and other methods has created detailed portraits of ancient life that were previously impossible to achieve. The development of international collaboration networks in mummy research has enhanced the sharing of expertise, resources, and data among researchers worldwide. These collaborative efforts have accelerated discovery and improved the quality of mummy research through the pooling of knowledge and capabilities. The establishment of ethical guidelines and best practices for mummy research has ensured that ancient human remains are treated with respect and dignity while allowing important scientific research to continue. These guidelines balance scientific inquiry with cultural sensitivity and respect for the dead. The creation of digital archives and databases for mummy research has preserved and made accessible vast amounts of data and information about ancient remains. These digital resources allow researchers worldwide to access and analyze mummy data without requiring physical access to the remains themselves. The development of public education and outreach programs based on mummy research has made ancient Egyptian civilization more accessible and engaging to general audiences. Museums, documentaries, and educational programs have brought the stories of ancient people to life and inspired new generations of researchers and enthusiasts. The application of mummy research findings to modern medical practice has contributed to understanding of disease processes, treatment methods, and human anatomy. The study of ancient diseases and medical conditions has provided insights that are relevant to contemporary medical challenges and treatment development. The use of mummy research in forensic training and education has enhanced the skills and knowledge of modern forensic investigators. The study of ancient trauma, disease, and death has provided valuable training opportunities for forensic scientists and medical examiners. The contribution of mummy research to anthropological and archaeological understanding has enhanced our knowledge of ancient cultures, societies, and human development. The study of ancient remains has provided insights into human evolution, cultural change, and social organization that extend far beyond ancient Egypt. The influence of mummy research on popular culture and public imagination has made ancient Egypt one of the most fascinating and well-known ancient civilizations. The stories and discoveries from mummy research have inspired countless books, movies, and other cultural productions that continue to captivate audiences worldwide. The ongoing conservation and preservation efforts for mummy collections have ensured that these invaluable scientific resources will be available for future generations of researchers. Advanced preservation techniques and climate-controlled storage facilities protect ancient remains from deterioration and damage. The development of new research questions and methodologies in mummy studies continues to push the boundaries of what we can learn from ancient remains. Each new technological advance opens new possibilities for discovery and understanding that were previously unimaginable. The integration of mummy research with other archaeological and historical studies has created comprehensive understanding of ancient Egyptian civilization that encompasses all aspects of ancient life. The combination of mummy studies with excavation data, textual evidence, and other sources has created a rich and detailed picture of the ancient world. The training of new generations of mummy researchers has ensured the continuation and advancement of this important field of study. Universities and research institutions worldwide are preparing young scientists with the skills and knowledge needed to continue making important discoveries about ancient life and death. The development of new funding sources and support mechanisms for mummy research has enabled ambitious projects and long-term studies that would otherwise be impossible. Government agencies, private foundations, and international organizations have recognized the value of mummy research and provided crucial support for ongoing investigations. The establishment of professional organizations and conferences for mummy researchers has created communities of practice that facilitate collaboration, knowledge sharing, and professional development. These organizations provide forums for presenting new discoveries and discussing research challenges and opportunities. The creation of specialized journals and publications for mummy research has provided outlets for sharing new discoveries and advancing scientific knowledge in this field. These publications ensure that important research findings are documented and made available to the broader scientific community. The development of standardized protocols and methodologies for mummy research has improved the quality and comparability of studies conducted by different researchers and institutions. These standards ensure that research is conducted in a systematic and rigorous manner that produces reliable and valid results. The application of quality control and peer review processes to mummy research has maintained high scientific standards and ensured the accuracy and reliability of research findings. These processes help identify and correct errors while promoting excellence in research design and execution. The recognition of mummy research as a legitimate and important scientific discipline has elevated its status and attracted talented researchers from diverse backgrounds. This recognition has led to increased funding, institutional support, and academic opportunities for mummy researchers. The integration of mummy research with broader scientific and medical communities has enhanced its impact and relevance to contemporary challenges. The connections between ancient and modern medicine, forensic science, and other fields have demonstrated the practical value of studying ancient remains. The development of citizen science and public participation opportunities in mummy research has engaged broader communities in scientific discovery and education. These programs allow members of the public to contribute to research while learning about ancient civilizations and scientific methods. The use of social media and digital platforms to share mummy research findings has made scientific discoveries more accessible and engaging to global audiences. These platforms allow researchers to communicate directly with the public and share the excitement of discovery in real time. The creation of virtual reality and augmented reality experiences based on mummy research has provided immersive educational opportunities that bring ancient Egypt to life for modern audiences. These technologies allow people to explore ancient tombs, examine mummies, and experience ancient life in unprecedented ways. The development of mobile applications and interactive tools based on mummy research has made ancient Egyptian knowledge more accessible and portable. These tools allow users to explore mummy collections, learn about ancient life, and engage with research findings from anywhere in the world. The establishment of international standards and protocols for mummy conservation has ensured that ancient remains are preserved using the best available methods and technologies. These standards promote consistency and quality in conservation efforts worldwide. The creation of emergency response and disaster preparedness plans for mummy collections has protected these invaluable resources from natural disasters, conflicts, and other threats. These plans ensure that ancient remains can be quickly and safely evacuated or protected when necessary. The development of sustainable funding models for long-term mummy research and conservation has ensured the continuation of important work even during periods of economic uncertainty. These models provide stable support for ongoing research and preservation efforts. The recognition of mummy research as a tool for promoting international cooperation and cultural understanding has enhanced its diplomatic and educational value. Collaborative research projects have brought together scientists from different countries and cultures, promoting mutual understanding and respect. As we reflect on the remarkable journey of mummy research from its early beginnings to its current sophisticated state, we can appreciate the dedication and ingenuity of the researchers who have devoted their careers to understanding these ancient remains and the stories they tell. The disturbing mummies of ancient Egypt continue to reveal new secrets and provide new insights into the human experience across time and cultures. Their preserved bodies serve as bridges between the ancient and modern worlds, connecting us to our ancestors and reminding us of our shared humanity. The ongoing study of these remarkable remains promises to yield even more discoveries and insights in the years to come, as new technologies and methodologies continue to expand our ability to examine and understand ancient life and death. The legacy of mummy research extends far beyond its immediate scientific value, contributing to our understanding of human nature, cultural development, and the eternal quest for knowledge and understanding that drives scientific inquiry and discovery. Sleep well tonight, knowing that the ancient people preserved in these mummies continue to teach us important lessons about life, death, and the human condition, and that their stories will continue to inspire and educate future generations of researchers and learners. The whispered secrets of these preserved bodies will continue to echo through time, carrying eternal messages about the importance of preserving knowledge, respecting the dead, and never ceasing in our quest to understand the mysteries of human existence and the remarkable civilizations that came before us.